What's going on, guys? My name is Brandon and today we're going to be welding some stainless steel exhaust. Let's get going. To bring you guys up to speed, this is my 2003 Suzuki Katana. I bought this and discovered that the bike had been wrecked. Did a pile of work to it to bring it up to where it is now. But the one thing that remains that just looks foolish to me is this exhaust. You see how it kind of like cants out like that? The reason that this is like this is the original, this is the original exhaust pipe. It connects to the header right here and it comes up, and this used to have a stock muffler, and the stock muffler is kind of canted, so it went back. Well, what someone did is they just lopped off the stock muffler, and that left this without that bend on it. So now they've used this little band clamp to cant it. Let's start disassembling this and see what we got. The first thing I got to do is get this up to a height where I can work on it. I absolutely love this lift, guys. This lift is rated for like 1,500 pounds, and my regular viewers, you'll know I use this all the time. This is my welding table, and my lift table is just awesome. Super handy to have. If you want to know more about this lift table, I'll put a link up above. You see this butchered up mess. The more you peel back the layers, the more incredible it gets. So this little wrap here, this is my handiwork, and I'll show you why I did that. And I did this to help seal up. You see how that's just not a great connection? See, that right there is how I want it. Could just weld the muffler right to it. That's how the factory pipe was. You know what? I think I might actually do that. See, now you can see how that original pipe was just kind of like lopped off in there. See that little cut right there? They actually cut it so that someone could just like drive that pipe in there. So not the best way of doing it, I guess. Did it. And I got a new one of these too. I ordered an OEM one from the factory. I'm going to clean this up a little bit and get it ready to weld. The weld joint pretty well mechanically cleaned, so now we'll move on and we'll do the muffler. I'm just gonna go over it with a Scotch-Brite disc. If you want to know where I get any of this stuff, you can check out the links down below. There, now that's pretty good. That'll get that clean enough right now so that we can weld that up. So the next step, I'm just gonna start mocking this up a little bit so we can get a tack on it. How this bracket was before, it was on the outside of this, which was causing it to be flared out. I want it on the inside like this. Yeah, like that. Yep. If I was to buy this, okay, this setup, they make a setup for this, and it's actually this pipe, it's all one piece, and it goes down to here. And it's like, I don't know, it's like almost $400 for that. Well, I mean, I've put so much money into this bike, I really don't want to spend any more money. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it permanent up around here, because I'm not going to change this exhaust. It sounds great, and it's no different than if I bought it. So, you know, if I bought this as a system, this would all be one piece. I'm going to weld this up with some stainless, and then I'm going to try to grind it and make it all look nice and smooth. Well, look at this. Look at that. You see how that hugs the bike nice? Used to be kicked way over. Aesthetically, it looks better. So the next step is we just got to clean it up, then we can start welding. And I'm just using some acetone. Gonna wipe everything down around it. And I got some stainless 3/32 308 wire, and we'll talk about why I'm using 308 here in a minute. But first, let's go get the welder set up. For this repair, I'm going to be using my Anson TIG 205S. This is a 205 amp welder. We're going to be on TIG, and we're going to be welding stainless, so we're using 100% argon. This is a lot of experimentation for me. Typically when you weld tube, you do a dual regulator setup and you back purge. I'm not doing that. I'm not set up for it, so we are just going to wing it and hope for the best. So let's see, we're running almost 20 psi of gas. So the reason I'm using 308L is I explained to the guy at my local welding supply store what I was looking to do, and I told him I don't have a back purge set up, and I also don't have any idea what this existing metal is. And he said this 308, like I say, he knows a lot more about it than myself, that this 308 wire is pretty much used to weld almost all the 300 series. If it's unknown, this 308's a good wire to weld an unknown stainless. So be careful about putting in a lot of heat in it, because what will happen is that one, the weld can become brittle, and another thing that can happen is that it can actually disrupt the stainless and make the weld rust. So I'm just going to do a couple tacks, and then we're going to kind of do a little bit at a time so we're not putting too much heat in it. Well, it seems to be working pretty good, guys. I'm just putting some little tiny blast tacks on there, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. See, there's my first little tack I got on there, and then I added a little bit of filler right here just to bridge that gap. And then I have another tack right up under there. So probably just do a couple more tacks, then we'll pull the pipe off, and then we can just lay it down and get comfortable and weld it. So I'll practice on the back side because I am super rusty and not very good at it. So hopefully by the time I get to the front, it'll look pretty good. That's my hopes anyways. See right there. There was a little slice in the that I had to weld up, and then I'm just kind of like trying to work my way around, and I'm right there. I just got to fill that in a little bit. So yeah, gaining. I've seen better, but I've also seen a lot worse too. I mean, that's a factory weld there. I mean, that looks kind of globby, doesn't it? But you know what they say, a grinder in paint is what the welder ain't. Get a flap disc, and I'm going to start blending this in a little bit, and then we'll go over it with a Scotch-Brite disc and polish the whole system. The disc I'm using is actually made for stainless steel. You can see it down here. all together. Came out all right. It's not absolutely perfect, but that's okay. I didn't expect that it was going to be anyways. There's a little dent here, and that's from the original pipe. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be all right. Like I say, it's not perfect, but if it doesn't last and it does crack or whatever, we'll address it then. But I think it'll be all right. But look how much better that pipe looks, and it's hugging the bike real tight now. I'll insert another clip just so you have a comparison. Is this exhaust? You see how it kind of like cants out like that before and after? What a difference, huh guys? So yeah, I'm real happy how that came out. I like how it's hugging the bike now. So let's fire it up. Perfect. So fingers crossed that we don't have any issues with this. I think it's going to work out. I think it'll hold up just fine. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. New videos every Friday. If you want to find out what I'm working on before it makes it up to YouTube, you can catch me on Facebook and on Instagram. Links are down below. Until next week, guys, I will see you then. Take care. Stay safe. See ya.